Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about Possum. And this movie came out in 2018, and it was directed by Matthew Holness, if I pronounced that correctly. And this was his first feature length directorial debut. He directed a couple of shorts before this, and I personally didn't really care for this movie. There were aspects to appreciate about it, and some stuff that was kind of cool. Mostly with how it was shot, I was like, "Ooh, this is kind of interesting to look at." And there were striking visuals overall in this movie that really stuck with me that I liked a lot. And even if this movie is doing some things that are very reminiscent to other movies, I do feel as though it's not doing them too poorly on its own as far as visuals are concerned, and also some other stuff like the puppet in this movie. Like, I do like how it's utilized in the film, and it did kind of remind me of a couple of other things. And sure, you can point out and to say, well, it's just a representation of A, B, C, D, F, G, or whatever. But I do like kind of what it's going for, and at least there's something there. And I did like following the main character for a while, and I did like the tone of the film, but unfortunately, where this movie falls apart for me is the fact that it takes so long for things to really get going, and things aren't really revealed until the end. And this is one of those movies where you have to sit through everything in order to really understand what's going on. And this movie will ask you to kind of read into it a little bit. And it's like, yeah, it does do that, and I get what it's going for. But unfortunately, everything that it's doing is just not in service of a story that I really connect with. And this movie would have worked a lot better if it were a 30-minute short and not a feature-length film, because this movie was really boring to me. It just didn't feel like it was building to much of anything, and it got very repetitive after a certain point. It's mostly just our main character just walking around being quiet, or just holding on to this puppet in his bag. And eventually we do see the puppet, and it does look pretty creepy, and I like how it looks, and I think it's supposed to look that way, and that's cool and all. But unfortunately, the movie just wasn't interesting to me, and I was just kind of bored, didn't care about the characters. The story wasn't offering anything interesting or unique to me as far as things that I've seen before. I just would much rather be watching something like Eraserhead, where I'm connected to what it's offering, and I just like what it has to offer. And even something like Under the Skin, and to some extent The Babadook. Like, those movies I think are better than this, and I just take away more from them. I thought the performances were pretty good. They didn't really have many lines in the film, and it's mostly just characters being quiet and facial expressions. But I thought it was pretty good for what the movie was going for, and I didn't think that was the problem with the movie. It was just a story that was really lacking for me, and I just wish that there was something more to it. And if you want to check this movie out, it's free to watch on Amazon Prime, so if you're curious, there's a way to do so, along with many other places, I know, but there's one place to watch it, and it's not like a terrible movie, it's just not that entertaining. I can think of other movies that I've seen on Amazon Prime that I would just much rather be watching. Like, I know a much worse movie that's like, this is going to be a weird comparison, like Peter 5'8". Terrible movie, doesn't do anything good unironically, but at the very least it's more entertaining than this, where this movie is just kind of boring and partially forgettable. And that's about all I have to say about Possum. It was not the worst thing ever, it was just really boring, and I'm happy that it was short, but would have worked better as a short film. I do feel as though that would have solved a lot of problems. So with all that being said, I'm going to give Possum a 4 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos. As always, if you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below what you thought of Possum, and my social media links, it will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for The Hand That Rocks the Cradle from 1992. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.